Today I am out in the hills of Tennessee with Nissan checking out the 4th generation 2025 Nissan Murano. As you can probably see from the exterior, it's been completely reworked. This is an all-new Murano. We have a new exterior design, new interior luxury and technology, powertrain, and many more features, and there's a lot to go over. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Taking a look at the front end first, you can see that this has been completely redesigned. It's less angular in the headlights, it's a little bit more sleek looking, and Nissan has really focused their time on making this as aerodynamically efficient as possible. They said they spent a lot of time in the wind tunnel and made sure that this lower nose portion, where that hood kind of extends down below, broken up by that nice black bar going across, this helps with aerodynamic efficiency. Now in terms of headlights, projector LEDs, DRLs are going to be standard across the lineup. And you can see that these DRLs are nicely integrated into that grille section and kind of disguise when they are off. But when they're on, you can see that those are DRLs. There is no fog lamps down below. And here on the Platinum trim, you're gonna get this gloss black lower splitter that runs along the bottom, down the side of the vehicle, and to the rear bumper. That is going to be only on the Platinum. The SV and the SL is going to get a bare plastic. You have parking sensors up front. You also have a radar for your adaptive cruise control. And here on the Platinum, you can see there is a camera integrated into that Nissan logo. Now, if we pop out to the corners, there is no air curtains. They said aerodynamically, they did not need them, but they went ahead and put this indentation right underneath that parking sensor to give that sense of width. Now, this is 2.7 inches wider, so there is really a change in width, and you can really see that from the front end and the back end. But as we come around to the side, the wheelbase stays the same at 111.2 inches and the length at 192. Now, curb weight is going to range anywhere from 4,200 pounds to 4,400 pounds, depending on what trim you go for. And here on the Platinum, that is going to be the heaviest at nearly 4,500 pounds. Ground clearance is going to be standard across the lineup at 8.2 inches, and that is made due in part by the fact that we have bigger wheel options. On the SV and the SL, you'll get 20 inches as standard, and over here on the Platinum, you'll get 21-inch wheels. If I come in a little bit closer, these are going to be aero covers. That is not alloy. That is going to be plastic. So whether or not you can pop those off and get a different look, that may just need to be seen at a later date. Now, gloss black is a theme. Like I mentioned, that lower splitter down there on the front bumper is gloss black. It flows nicely to the side of the vehicle, running down that rocker panel and all the way to the back end. I love the indentations and the accentuations in the body styling that they incorporated here on this 4th generation. And you can see that there is very minimal chrome. The only chrome you're going to find is going to be on the window trim. Just the top portion. You can see it flows up above the windows, past the B pillar, and to the back of the vehicle. They no longer have that floating roof design that you found on the previous generations. This is going to be a more luxurious look as well as a more unique design. As I move around to the back end, the design you can see has completely changed. You can really tell from the rear taillights where they are integrated into one long bar. Now, these are going to be LED turn signals, LED taillights, all of the above. You're going to see nice individual LEDs. There's going to be a nice DRL that is illuminated at times. Now, this is a pre-production vehicle and it is just staged here for show. And so it might be a little bit difficult to get those DRLs to stay on without the vehicle on. Now, you can see that that is all connected via one light across the tailgate, separated with this Nissan logo. Now, as I zoom out, you can see that there is a massive Murano logo spanned across that tailgate, all-wheel drive down below, and Platinum on the passenger side. Now, here on the Platinum, this is going to be the only power-operated liftgate. The SV and the SL are going to be manual liftgates, but that's not too big of a deal in my book. Now, you can see that that gloss black continued from the side of the vehicle down to the rear bumper, and that is in that beautiful shiny gloss black. They've also moved that license plate down below, so it does not break up the smoothness and the sleekness of this rear hatch. Now, if you're curious about towing capacity, the Murano is definitely not going to be the first choice in this crossover market, as it only has a maximum tow capacity of 1,500 pounds. You see we have rear parking sensors and the reflectors down below in that gray painted plastic lower bumper portion, no exposed exhaust tips. Those are going to be tucked under the bumper. Under the hood is going to be one of the bigger changes to the 2025 generation, and that is because we replaced that 3.5 V6 with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now, this produces less horsepower at 241, but more torque than that 3.5 at 260 pound-feet. The biggest change that I am appreciative of is the fact that there is no CVT anymore. We replaced that with a 9-speed automatic transmission. In between that 2-liter turbo as well as the 9-speed, we get about the same miles per gallon as we did previously. So we get 23 miles per gallon combined, whether you go for front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now on the base trim SV, you can either get front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive platform, but once you go to the SL or the Platinum trim, you will get all-wheel drive as standard. If we go ahead and pop into the interior, let's take a look and see what has changed. Now, first off, the biggest thing for me is going to be this two-tone interior. You can see we have this light beige complementing nicely to this white semi-aniline leather, and everything is wrapped. The place where you rest your elbow, up top on the windowsill. You can see we have gloss black surrounding the window controls, nicely designed handle. Everything has been thought over here in the new generation. Now, if we take a look at the seats, that cross-stitch semi-aniline leather is going to be only found here on the Platinum trim. Now, the two-tone interior, the semi-aniline, as well as massage seats are going to be standard on the Platinum, but heated seats across the board, heated and ventilated, found in the SL and the Platinum. And you can see down here, we have a button for that massage function. But let me go ahead, hop in, and I want to show you the biggest change, these dual 12.3-inch screens. If we take a closer look at the interior, you can see that we have a new for 2025 dual 12.3-inch screen. This is a major upgrade over previous, and both these screens are connected seamlessly between this black bar in the middle, so it looks like it continues from each side to the other. Now, it is all encompassed by this leather wrapped dashboard. It is a soft touch material, nice thick contrast stitching, and gives a quality feel to the interior, especially when it's contrasted against that lighter interior. Now, the screen itself is going to be standard in all trims, but what isn't going to be standard is the fact that the SL and the Platinum trim will get Google navigation built in with Alexa. Now, if we scroll through our menu system here, we can see how snappy this operating system is. Now, this is going to have that Google built in, but if we scroll through here, widgets that are going to be customizable to your liking. And once I get this in a press fleet or we go on the first drive, I'd love to dive a little bit deeper. But if we go down below, we're going to find some gloss black, unfortunately, not my favorite in terms of trim pieces, but Murano nicely integrated into the design. Big old volume knob. These vents right here on the passenger and driver side are integrated into the design of the dashboard. And down below, this is probably the coolest feature. They kept physical controls for the climate system. Now, they aren't buttons, they're going to be haptic feedback, so it's almost like a piece of plastic or a faux wood, but if you press it, there is a feedback to it. It almost feels like you're touching a real button. So I love that they have the integration of climate control in the screen, but also down below where there are physical buttons. You don't have to go searching for it in the system. Below that, we have a Qi wireless charger, 2 USB-C ports, as well as more gloss black. Now you can see my phone fits nicely up there in the holder, as well as the Qi wireless charger, gloss black all the way from up there to the back of the cup holders. Nissan has moved to a push button gear selector, so this will be a little bit more simple and free up some space down below that I'll show you here in a second. We have a drive mode selector off to the right, auto start stop, and if we press our camera system, we have 8 virtual vantage points from the front camera, back camera, and the 2 cameras underneath the mirrors. But if we take a look at these cup holders, they're completely surrounded by gloss black. Nice little cubby here where a gear selector may be in previous generations. And I like that they did this because it just frees up for extra storage and has more capacity to put keys, wallets, small miscellaneous items. If we flip around here to the glove box, we press that, that opens up, and there is plenty of space in there. There is no lighting, there is no chargers or anything in there. There's a nice rubberized material at the bottom, so if you put things in there, they shouldn't slide around all that much. But if you take a look at the top of the glove box, or sorry, the center console, excuse me, we have a beautifully designed button to release that. We have a nice double stitch going down the center, and it is nicely padded and wrapped in leather, so it feels quality throughout the interior. Now, the biggest change to the dashboard I didn't touch on is the fact that we have a beautifully designed plastic piece, what they call a glass animated thing. There is LED lights integrated all throughout the dashboard. And when those LED lights reflect onto this plastic, it illuminates it almost. It gives it a lively feel to the interior. Now, as you might be able to see on camera, there is a gradient color going across that plastic piece, and that flows all the way across the dashboard to the driver's side. Now, they say when that LED, the 64 different ambient colors you can choose from on the Platinum, when that illuminates onto that plastic, it gives the interior an incredibly luxurious feel. Now, that light flows all the way down the door panel and even to the back seat here on the Platinum. The steering wheel on the left side is going to be controlling your cruise control, and the right side buttons are going to be controlling your menu system up here on your 12.3-inch driver information display. So if you can see up there, if that will focus for me, we can scroll through different telemetry, different analytics of the vehicle, and see what kind of miles per gallon you are pulling. And everything is configurable all by the touch of a button here on the right side of the steering wheel. I love the two-spoke design. This is going to be leather wrapped, nice thick stitching, and it's going to be heated here on the Platinum trim. Now here on this trim, we have a light colored interior, a dual pane panoramic moonroof, and the only downfall of the moonroof is it does inhibit just a little bit less headroom in terms of space. If we take a look at the glove box before we move on to what kind of legroom and headroom this has to offer, it is a very basic, fully plastic glove box. There is no lighting, no charging, and it's big enough to fit a 11-inch or 12-inch tablet. As there is no gear selector, we have more space below for cargo capacity. Now it is a pass-through to the passenger side, so both the passenger and the driver can take advantage of that extra storage. On the left side, this is going to be how you release your lift gate, your heated steering wheel, as well as some safety features here on the left side. Now, in terms of space here in the front seat, we have 41.1 inches of headroom without the moonroof, but with the moonroof, it's about 2 inches less at 39.4. So you can see we're gonna have the less amount of headroom because we do have that dual pane moonroof up top. Legroom is 44.3, as well as the second row is inhibited a little bit by that moonroof because it does take away about 2 inches as well. In the second row, 39.7 inches without it, but 37.9 inches with the moonroof in terms of headroom. Legroom is at 36.3. There is plenty of space back here. The seat is all the way back in its tracks. There's still quite a bit of space back here in the second row, and Nissan has really focused their time in making the comfortability go from the front seat all the way to the back seat. So no matter if you're driving, riding passenger, or riding in the second row, it is going to be as comfortable as possible. All premium materials. There is going to be no cloth seat options in the lineup, whether it be the SL, SV, or up to the Platinum. And here on the top two trims, you are going to get heated outboard seats in the second row. 2 USB-C chargers, vents on the center console. If we fold down this center armrest, there is 2 more cup holders and a little bit of storage. As we pop open this power lift gate, we're going to expose our rear cargo area that has changed in terms of dimensions. Now 32.9 cubic feet is what you're going to find in terms of storage behind that second row seat, and a total of 63.5 if you fold that down. Now if you look at the numbers, they have decreased over the previous generation just slightly because Nissan has moved that second row seat back by a few inches. Now that does mess up the cargo space just a little bit, and if you are looking for more cargo space, or you're looking for a mid-size crossover SUV that has the most cargo capacity, the Murano isn't going to be on the top of your list because realistically there are other vehicles that have plenty more space. Now if we lift up the floor here, we're going to expose that there is no spare tire here in the Platinum Murano. That is going to be an optional piece, or that is going to be offered on the lower trims. As you can see, a Bose subwoofer is in place of where a spare tire would be. Now we have fix-a-flat and an air pump right there, more storage off to the sides under the floor, but it is minimal in terms of space. Now if we close that back up, there are a little bit more cubby space over here on each side of the flat floor. Cargo tie downs, a 12-volt socket there, a hanger for your grocery bags or gym bags, whatever it may be, and a latch on the passenger side to fold down that second row. Now the nice thing about the 60/40 folding second row is that they fold down completely flat. So to utilize that maximum 63.5 cubic feet, you have a perfectly flat floor. Now there are some things I was not able to cover while I was with the vehicle earlier, and that is in terms of safety. Each trim of the Murano does come standard with the Safety Shield 360, and that is going to give you your rear cross traffic alert, your lane keep assist, and your blind spot detection. Safety features that should come standard in 2025 are going to be standard on the Murano in all trims. Now in terms of driving assistance, Pro Pilot Assist is going to be standard on the SL and SV, but up on the Platinum trim, you're going to find Pro Pilot Assist 1.1 that will help you determine whether or not you need to slow down before a corner, and it will do so if you are utilizing your intelligent cruise control. Now what's interesting is that the Rogue that has been previously refreshed to the Murano release does come with the availability of 2.1 Pro Pilot Assist, which is a more hands-off experience. It will steer for you, it will help with lane changes, and you are able to take your hands off on the highway while being attentive to the road. Now on the Murano, that's not available or standard, but it is available on the Rogue. So I don't know if it's a design issue, I don't know if it's a technology issue, a software issue. We have not gotten clarification, but I wanted to point that out to you. Now there are some other safety features such as a 360 camera and an invisible hood view that are going to be available on the higher end trims. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments of this all-new Murano. I think the exterior design is excellent. The interior quality as well as technology that's packed in there is fantastic, and there are a lot of great standard features. But you want to go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of this new Murano. Do you think they have done enough to stay competitive in this mid-size crossover segment? Me personally, I think so. This is a major upgrade over the outgoing generation. There's a lot more technology, a lot more luxury to be had, whether it be the SV or up to the Platinum trim. There's a lot of luxury and technology packed in as standard. Let me know down in the comments. That is going to do it for my time with the 2025 Nissan Murano. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Nick with Auto Buyer's Guide. I will see you guys next time.